WandaVision Aftershow.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. So you guys haven't seen me here. I think you might just have heard me if you watch Han's channel, but hi.
And all the artwork as well is done by I Am Rice Krispie.
That will be me. I am the Rice Krispie.
So you can check her out on Instagram as well. And yeah, this is a Star Wars channel, but we wanted to mix things up a little bit since WandaVision came out, and we're both pretty excited about that show. So we just watched it, and we're going to talk about it today. So if you haven't seen it, this is filled with spoilers.
Yeah, I recommend you probably watch it first, unless you don't mind, and we can just talk all about it, and then you can watch and kind of see a little bit closer what's going on, because there's a lot going on, even though it doesn't appear so at first. But they're mixing things up, so are we. So see.
So let's do it.
Yes.
Okay, WandaVision is the new Disney Plus mini series that is out now. And the first 2 episodes premiered today. Yes. So this show blends the style of classic sitcoms with the MCU, in which Wanda Maximoff and Vision, 2 superpowered beings living their ideal suburban lives, begin to suspect that everything is not as it seems. This show is created by Jack Schaefer. The first 2 episodes are directed by Matt Shakman, and the writers are Gretchen Enders and Jan Schaefer as well. Okay, so let's talk about the first 2 episodes. What were your first thoughts when it first started?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know what exactly to expect, except for 50s and 60s aesthetic and just something being wrong, of course, because we kind of know that it can't just be straight up that.
It wouldn't be a Marvel movie,
right? I saw some memes about that too, and I'm kind of glad that this is very, very, very different, because everyone's oh, they're gonna try to say how this follows a Marvel formula, and that doesn't bring nothing new to the table. I'm no, this is very new, to the extent that we were kind of worried that people weren't gonna respond well to it. But honestly, I think it's really well done. And I mean, honestly, it's good to try new things. Sometimes new things can go back and just give them a new spin. I thought it was really well done, the stylization and just how deep they went into even imitating the form of speaking and movement to recreate this era, just bringing a new spin, and just also still keeping true to the character, still being kind of wacky and super powered and a little odd, but still making it oh yeah, this is I Love Lucy, nothing weird going on here. But then there's obviously something extremely bizarre.
Yeah, so I think the first episode is probably 50s, and then the second is more 60s, because it looks like in the third one it's going to be more of the 70s style. Yes. At least that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, right away I love that it's in black and white, sticking true to that sitcom style. And also I loved when I was growing up, my mom was obsessed with I Love Lucy, I Dream of Jeannie, and Bewitched, and she made me and my brother watch those with her every evening. You too?
Well, not your mom, but but I also watched that, and I had a whole DVD set of the Partridge Family, the Brady Bunch, and all those sitcoms that they're gonna go for. I'm I know this. This is nice and familiar and nostalgic, even though I wasn't not even a concept. Probably
and it hit it straight on. It felt like it was from that time period, or from those type of filmmakers. So I think Matt Shakman, Jack Schaefer, did an amazing job capturing that style, because it really did feel just like it was from one of those shows. It didn't feel like it was trying to be something that it wasn't. The style was done very well, and it wasn't just mimicking that old school golden age television style sitcom, because it also had its own thing to it as well, especially every time, because it's obvious the world this takes place in isn't just for fun's sake of making a Disney Plus TV show, but there's actually something else a little bit deeper into it. Yes. And every time it would the show itself would break character, if you're considering the show a character. Every time the show would break character, and it started getting a little bit more suspenseful or
eerie
and it would have different, it would break into different camera shots and close-ups on their faces. And I guess we'll go ahead and start talking about the actual plot points themselves. So the moment I'm talking about is the moment where they're having dinner with the
Mhm.
boss
Yeah.
and the boss's wife, which was probably my favorite episode so far. Yeah, Kitty. I think that helped make it feel more like a sitcom than anything else.
I was hoping she'd come up in the 70s one, but I'm glad
Uh,
that she's like
oh, she'll definitely come back.
I'm
She'll
hoping
definitely
because
come
I
back.
love her so much. She's so cute.
I'm expecting one of her laughs to be in the show at some point. But no, she's great.
Users.
But yeah,
Headphone.
that moment when the boss chokes Mr. Hart, and then it's almost like the Kitty character, I forgot her name, Mrs. Hart. But she almost like starts to like hit go on skip like a record player, like almost the simulation didn't go as planned or something. And she keeps saying, "Oh, stop it." Yeah,
and
like
the name, but like she's looking at Wanda. If you're looking at it, like she's like, "Stop it, Harold," or whatever. I'm like, she's talking to Wanda.
And that all started once they brought up, what are they doing here? Like, where did you come from? How long have you been married, etc. So whatever doesn't fit their script in their head, whether this show is like a simulation or it's, I think the biggest theory going into this was that Wanda is doing this to herself so she can like relive a life she didn't get to have with Vision. But I mean, now that we've seen it, there's obviously a thousand more theories you could present for the show. So did you have any like thoughts on that scene, or what the hell is going on in this show?
There's like a couple that I have in mind. I mean, there's like obviously the whole like sword thing that we'll get into, but I think they're trying to probably like extract information, or maybe this is all within maybe the Mind Stone or something, or within like Vision's AI. But then why is Wanda the one who's technically like implied to be in charge? So I think maybe it's in like Wanda's mind since she's technically still alive. I don't know, like it was kind of like the Good Place thing where they put them in a simulation to like see what would happen.
Oh yeah,
within different scenarios.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring it out.
So do you think it's being done to Wanda, or do you think Wanda is a part of it?
I mean, they kept saying like, "What did you do?" or "What are you doing?" kind of.
What are they doing to you? That voice on the radio.
Yeah.
Where did they put you, or what did they?
So I don't know, but I don't trust the beats.
I don't either. I think. Well, there was obviously the introduction of the Hydra commercials, which was already kind of, I guess, not spoiled, but someone already said that I read somewhere. And so I thought that was a cool tie-in, which obviously might have something to do with the story itself. And then while we were watching it, you mentioned something like brainwashing. Like, what if it is Hydra doing it?
Because I mean, also with the commercials could be kind of like subliminal messaging kind of thing too. Because like the Watch had Strucker, which is the guy who was like experimenting on Wanda and Pietro, and like maybe I'm butchering the names. I'm so sorry. But then like you also did have like a Stark commercial with the toaster. So like I don't know. But then you also have Sword, which is unrelated to Hydra as much as I know, because I know Shield had been infiltrated. But like I don't know. I'm kind of still. I feel like they're just dropping hints and like also very weird Easter eggs, as we will get into with the whole thing. But honestly, right now, it's as much of a mystery as they're probably just keeping it under wraps so it kind of unfolds. That's kind of just like a little taste.
Well, let's talk about the sword thing. So the whole first episode, as we said, we think is kind of like mocking the 50s style sitcom. And it was a great story with, them kind of explaining the world in a way that kind of fit the story they were telling in that episode as well, with the husband Vision going to work and going to his work and being like, what actually do I do here?
Like they're trying so hard to fit in. It's so obvious that they're just so bizarre and out of place, but they're like, no, we got this. We can probably like make it work and like look normal when the situation isn't normal either. I mean, none of it makes really any sense.
And the whole and the whole the whole premise of that first episode is to impress the boss at the dinner, and it gets mixed up with their potential anniversary because of the heart on the calendar, which was really cute and funny. So cute. And that's what made it feel like that old school type of television show, like not just the jokes, but also kind of how they told stories back then, which is kind of like, crazy, fun, weird situations like that.
Like what misunderstanding, right. Shenanigans ensues. Like,
and then at the end of the first episode, you find out that the show we're watching is actually a show in itself
kind of like broadcasting to them in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of like making them like, oh, you're in a TV show, but like not really, kind of.
Because you see it like when the credits roll, it zooms out into like another television in the real world, and someone is scribbling down on a notepad. When they close the notepad, you see sword. Guessed it. We guessed it at first, but then we looked it up later after the second viewing, and then we saw it was the sword logo. And I'm not too familiar with sword, but we did find out that it's the Sentient World Observation and Response Department.
There we go.
So they're a fictional counterterrorism and intelligence agency appearing in the American comic books published by Marvel. And its purpose is to deal with extraterrestrial threats to world security and the space-based counterpart of S.H.I.E.L.D., which deals with local threats to the world. So if this show is run by a sword, with that description, what does this possibly mean for Wanda and what the purpose is?
It's kind of a little bit, we'll have to kind of see how it ties in together, because as far as I know, I mean, Vision is from Earth and Wanda as well, unless they do have some like celestial ties with them. Not celestials and the celestials, but like space.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to clarify, because I mean, Marvel will just have every name under the book.
Yep.
Like they have tree, we got tree.
And the also with sword coming in too, it could tie in with that Nick Fury TV show for Disney Plus is coming in, because he, at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, was shown to be up in the space station at Sword's headquarters. And so it might have something to tie in with that too. And Talos, yeah. And we also saw in the trailer, the like special look trailer for that came out just after the first 2 episodes premiered, was the featurette had a bunch of spoilers in it, but whatever.
It's really cool though.
In it was the FBI agent from Ant-Man. I don't remember his name, but he was in the trailer.
Actor named Randall Park.
Yeah.
Crush of the Boat Man. Kim Jong-un guy.
Yeah. So which means to me, like, I was kind of nervous at first going into this show that it was going to, like, they were going to separate cinematic universe from the television universe and just kind of do their own thing on TV rather than it all connecting. Because I was like, how are people going to, have time for all the shows they announced? But it looks like they're doing it, not at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to know that it's actually going to relate to the movies too. So it's kind of like not fan service, but it's like, like here's a reward for watching everything. And because I don't think you have to watch it.
I think it's
the movies to see
kind of thing.
Yeah. Because the first episode itself, I think, sets it up really well for people who haven't watched Age of Ultron or Infinity War and Endgame, which I think are the only ones Wanda is in, and Civil War.
Yes.
But yeah, it was just, again, it was done really well. And also with the end of that first credits, you saw something on Twitter.
Yes.
So go ahead and share that.
Speaking of super bizarre and like kind of deep cutty like Easter eggs, I kind of noticed like it was kind of strange that they had like fake credits for the fake show that they're in. And they said, oh, directed by Abe Brown. I'm like, weird. So I was scrolling through Twitter and then I see that Abe Brown, he's an actual character in the MCU. And it's not what you'd expect. It's from Homecoming? Homecoming. Yes, Homecoming. So you guys remember the school that Peter Parker goes to and he's in the decathlon, right? So Abe Brown is one of those kids in that decathlon. How did he write a show in the 50s? Well, it's not in the 50s, but that's a kid. But I guess maybe they either just were like, oh, whatever names do they have on the database of characters within that world. Maybe just put like a random one to see like if anyone catches it. I wonder if the rest of them are characters as well. I'd have to check that out.
It probably could have been. And honestly, good old Abe, honest Abe, may not even show up. It just could have been that little Easter egg.
Yeah,
but
I don't think so.
It'd still be cool though.
No, Peter. I don't know. I forgot what he sounds like. He's like a kid. I think he has an accent though.
I don't remember. I'll have to watch it again.
He seemed nice though. Power to you, Abe. Get your writing credits.
Yep. And then I think the biggest egg in episode 2 is you.
No, the egg, the chicken that turns eggs. I'm kidding. When she went too far.
Oh, yeah. When she turned the the
The
chicken into eggs.
eggs.
That was pretty funny. The whole thing was really
It's
cute.
really,
All the jokes are really cute.
it's so clever too. Like you'd think that. I mean, some people are like, "Oh, it's cringy." I'm like, it's clever though because that's kind of like the comedy, but also like kind of updating it to be like more in tune with the characters too. But
Yeah, because
still,
some of the jokes wouldn't have been
oh no, the
back then.
mastication. Oh, I don't
I
do
don't
that.
masticate.
Like no, I don't do that.
But okay, on top of that, then
Sorry.
I want to add that the acting from the characters was really well done as well because
Yeah.
they're, I mean, for some reason they're still in their
Mhm.
character as Wanda and Vision, but they
Right.
changed it to match the aesthetic of the show in that style. But I
Mhm.
still feel like I'm watching Wanda and
And
Vision
Vision.
from the MCU as well. So it's so
Mhm.
I feel like that's a really hard
Right.
task.
I feel like with Vision, it's a little bit more like normal, I guess, for him to be in that setting, even though he is literally a typing machine, even though
Yeah.
people completely tell you otherwise. But with Wanda, I mean, like her, I guess, like, I mean, yeah, the essence is there, but they do like make them like camouflage and stuff, but not too much that it's a little bit too suspicious. But with Vision being more of a reserved, like robotic kind of feel, it just kind of like lends itself really well to be more in the 50s where you're a little bit more like,
Mhm.
I don't know, not too expressive in a way that's like very, I mean, I don't know if that's the word I was looking for. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I do. I love how the Vision they keep doing that joke where he's like, "Oh, I don't eat," or whatever,
Yes, it's like I don't eat food. I'm like,
and then everyone's like looking at him. It's like stuff like that. It's like it's really not jokey, but it's really funny in that situation.
It's so cute.
And then with uh episode 2, the egg I was getting to was
Oh,
Monica Rambeau's daughter,
yes. I mean,
and
their casting on that, like,
yeah, I knew
she
that
looks so
character was
good.
going to be in it because everyone was talking about it. I just didn't know who.
Mhm.
So when that woman, the lady in charge of the or there was a member of that
The committee
school committee, yeah,
for the children,
for the children.
for the greater good. That's why I kept thinking about like for the greater good from like Hot Fuzz. I'm like,
So
it's off.
I think she'll play a bigger role as well because why else would you have that character name in there? But the
Mm.
question is, with the characters that we know already that exist in the universe that are in the show, such as Miss Rambo,
Mhm.
are they a part of the simulation where they don't know about it, or are they aware of it and they're playing
Mhm.
along? Because it
Oh.
seems like some people like the right side neighbor, I don't remember her name,
Agnes?
Agnes. She it,
Oh, she's great.
it seems like she doesn't know that something's going on
Yeah.
because there was that moment in episode 2 when Wanda said something and then
Oh.
she was kind of like frozen. Like it's almost like when you
Mhm.
like go to an NPC in a game and you try to give an
Yeah.
action that they don't know how to respond to, they just kind of repeat the same thing or freeze.
Right.
And that's what it felt like with that. And also
Mhm.
with the kitty character, Miss Hart.
Mhm.
She felt like an NPC as well because like she didn't
Mhm.
know how to respond when the guy started choking. Like, oh, that's out of like my known programming. I don't know what to
Mhm.
do. And every time something like that happens, it seems to like get into that eerie feeling that you were talking
Mhm.
about, which
And
I
just start
liked.
glitching pretty much kind of.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
funny because I was watching like the thing that they did before the release, the live stream on YouTube, and it started glitching, and I'm like,
Is it part of
is
the
it
show?
on purpose? Like at this point, they could literally just play it off and be like, oh no, yeah, that was, yeah, we meant to do that.
But it wasn't intentional.
I don't think so because it was like a very weird moment with the Rambo girl, and she's just like, it was something the show maybe it was, I don't know, I forgot, I recorded it and sent to you. I'm like,
Mhm.
so I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's on purpose. But oh sorry, going back to the NPC whole thing, I think, yeah, Kitty and Agnes were probably created for the simulation,
Oh,
but I think maybe with Rambo, either she volunteered, but she's like wiped of the memory because I don't think she would be like a bad person. I think she's there to help Wanda. I really hope she doesn't betray her because I feel like they have a really
yeah,
nice friendship so far. But I think with Agnes, it's more like a distraction tactic too, because she keeps trying to like pull her away from things. If you notice, she kept trying to like break into the kitchen, going to like the front door with pineapple,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like tried to distract her from like the red like little helicopter with the sword
yeah.
logo. So I don't know. I think she's more there to be like, hey, look over here, kind of thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe
No,
that's just
yeah.
my imagination, honestly, though.
I think so. Um, the one thing I kept thinking about while watching it was I get heavy Truman Show vibes,
Yes.
where the world that they're living in like starts to expose it as
Like the cracks
fake.
and like the walls.
Yeah, and like whatever that banging was, which was
Mm.
it. It was clearly not the tree, and whoever is running the
Mm.
simulation made it the tree, apt to try and
Yeah.
cover up whatever it was.
Do you think? Because at first I thought it was like the helicopter. Then I think it might have been the pothole.
Yeah, maybe. And I think the one outside was the helicopter.
Yeah.
It was probably someone trying to send a message or some
Mm.
kid playing. And I also get Under the Dome vibes, the Stephen King
Oh,
book,
yeah.
which is also a show. I think I didn't watch it, but
There was also the thing in the featurette where Rambo goes up to it and starts touching it. So I think it's kind of like Under the Dome kind of cabin in
oh,
the
there
woods
was a
kind of
dome.
thing,
Yeah,
where she goes like through the thing and
yeah,
starts like glitching and having like holographic kind of
yeah.
like. So I think there is a literal dome
Hmm.
or like walls, and they kind of did break the fourth wall along with the whole kind of like calling out how this is like doesn't fit.
Hmm.
So I think there is something like fishy going on. Maybe it's literally an area, kind of like the Truman Show too, and you can get in and get out. And they're just
Yeah,
monitoring like that because I mean, then how does the FBI guy go in? Because I think they're in the
yeah,
same world.
yeah.
I don't know.
The other question is, what the heck was the bee farmer, the
Beekeeper.
beekeeper doing
What
there?
was that?
Crawling in from the sewers with a bunch
Sewer
of bees,
bees.
surrounding sewage
Killer
bees.
bees.
I don't. Do you have any idea what the hell?
Honestly,
I
I
knew the
think
show was going to be weird, but
yeah. Or do you think it's kind of like a radiation or like spacesuit, but they
oh, but
try to
that's how they
make it a
interpret it.
beekeeper because that's like what, yeah, to like make it fit
Yeah,
into the whole like aesthetic.
yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
I don't know.
See, but oh, okay. So we're both on the same page that this is probably a simulation of some sort, whether it is digital or just like in a virtual world, like a dome or something. But I totally lost what I was going to say.
Are we gonna get Digimon in there?
Digimon?
I'm kidding.
I don't get it.
I don't know because it's all digital.
Oh,
Digimon are digital monsters and Digimon are the champions. I'm so sorry. We can cut that whole thing out. I don't know what you're gonna say. Oh, while he's thinking about what he was gonna say, I'm gonna say something really funny. So they were gonna do like, I mean, we know they're gonna do like different eras, and we're getting into like the color. So I know that they're gonna do the 90s at one point, and they said it is based literally on Full House. And I thought it was really funny
oh,
that they said they were not gonna get Mary Kate and Ashley to be the
oh,
twins.
that would have been funny.
That would have been so funny.
That would have been so funny.
But they do have twins.
Yeah.
So
And she just miraculously became pregnant out of
that
nowhere.
was so. That's my worst nightmare.
Oh,
It's like suddenly, wow, pregante.
Pregananant. Okay, I remember what I was going to say. It was
Okay.
if they're in the simulation, virtual or real life, if this takes place after Endgame, Vision is dead. Vision doesn't exist.
There is no Vision, is said in Basing Say.
So if it is after Endgame, which I believe it is, Vision does not exist. And I think they just gave us an Easter egg that the Vision in that show is a robot or some kind of animatronic, probably made by Stark, because we did get the Stark Easter egg. And then when they showed the animated version of him with the gum, it was gears. So maybe it's like telling us, hey, this is a robot. It's not like a mind game, but it's like something was created, like someone at Stark or something created, or Sword created a Vision lookalike robot to trick Wanda.
I mean, yeah. The thing is, like, at the same time, like, I mean, Vision is a robot and created by Stark. So technically,
oh, is he a robot? Because I thought he was a
so he's
bio.
like a kind of, yeah. So he does have like biological like aspects to it because of the whole technological things that they brought in Ultron.
But he does have robotic elements.
Yeah, so he is basically a machine. That's why he was like, "Oh no, I'm not a machine." When he, like, because he is android, I guess you could call him.
Okay, so that theory's gone.
So maybe they're trying to bring him back by kickstarting his memory back by using Wanda. Maybe she's trying to like recreate him because she could create things out of nowhere. So
yeah.
maybe.
But what about the Mind Stone? because that was destroyed.
Yeah.
So how would that come back?
Endgame came back and the Mind Stone is restored though.
Oh, there was a new Mind Stone.
Or this ties into the whole Loki thing, and I'm probably just like spitballing here. And they like with the Loki series, it can go back to where it's reformed, and that way they can get the Mind Stone back and just remake Vision and then reinstate his memories from later.
Smart.
Noise. I don't know. But also, speaking of the whole thing when like the gum goes into him, I love the bewitched little drawings.
And the intro.
The intro is so cute. WandaVision.
I said I would watch that entire show just like that.
Oh
if
God,
if they made that, I would totally just watch that.
I hope they do a little bit more like more parodies of like intros as well. Not like direct parodies like they said, like how they're not going to do literally Full House, but like to just the style of the era and kind of how everything kind of was. I'm really excited to see that. I wish what if they, I mean, it's Disney. They could probably do like a 2000s and make it like Lizzie McGuire and have the little like inner Wanda and Vision be like, no. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that kind of thing. Like, I don't know. That would be really cute. Maybe that's just me wishful thinking. But like little teaser they put for like a later episode where it's kind of like more modern day and it's seen very Modern Family because she's like literally talking to the camera. She's like, oh, I'm fine.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Big mood, girl. But then at the same time, that's me after the second episode. I'm like, I need answers. I need to know what is going on. Sorry. But I don't know. I'm just really excited, really invested. Hopefully you guys are too, because we have a lot to talk about for this week and more. So
yeah, the show definitely brings up a lot of questions. And I mean, what I noticed with a lot of television shows is that have this type of like mystery box element, like Lost or like Under the Dome, or like there was this one a long time ago. It was called like Shatter or something like that. I can't remember, but they oftentimes have a bunch of questions that grab you and leave you like wanting to know more and keep watching the show. And then those shows don't answer the questions. Now I trust like the MCU, like they answer everything.
Right. Everything ties in some way, even if it's like super weird and far-fetched, but they're like, no, it's going to make sense. Believe me.
But the thing is we only have, I think it's six episodes of this. So I mean, I read somewhere that it was originally 6. Each one was an hour long, and then they extended it to 9. I don't know if that's true or not. So if that's the case, then we have 9 episodes. But regardless, it's a limited series, which also makes me upset because I really I could watch that style like all day.
Right.
And it might just be because we know the characters, but seeing it in like 50s form or 60s form, I really did enjoy. And it's like, it's just something relaxing and just pure entertainment. It's not like watching The Mandalorian, which I also really enjoy, but it's like, okay, where are we going? What's next? It's just like, oh, I could just sit down and enjoy it. Like I don't have to stress as much as
a little bit or a little bit, a lot.
But it's like simple stories, like the one with like the magic show. Like that's just like,
Impress the boss.
All right.
Thing. Like I love how it's so simple, but that's just like the type of the iceberg, and then it's like a whole like mess under that, and they're like, what is going on? And they just can't figure it out yet, and so can't we. So speaking of, like, I do wish it was longer. I think that if they make it shorter, it probably will be much more concise and prevent like getting too convoluted or run its like course and just keep going. But I kind of do wish that we kind of got a little bit like maybe after doing decades, it could be like genres of things, and then we can get more animated stuff. That'd be so cute. Maybe I'm just thinking a little bit too much like Fairly Odd Parents, Channel Surfers, or Channel Chasers, and it's like have anime, have like weird like sci-fi, have like a Western vision. I don't know.
That'd be really
like,
cool.
Oh, it would be so cool to get like a steampunk and have him have all these like little gears and like little.
Oh, that would be
goggles.
cool. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit like going off the rails here, but it would just be really cool to have like push it a little bit further. Maybe they could have like one episode where it just like glitches and just blows up into like, I don't know.
Oh, that'd be really cool too. Yeah. I think all of this just is a testament to the creators. I think they really captured, essence of the MCU and also essence of early sitcoms. Essence.
There we go.
So again, Jack Schaefer.
Yes.
If we had a dark crystal,
Dark
Netflix,
Crystal on. Oh
Dark
no.
Crystal 2.
Yes, please bring it back.
Desperate here.
Mm.
Anyway, but yeah, Jack Schaefer, Matt Shackman, Gretchen Enders,
Amazing.
it's made very well. It's just I think they've done a great job, both making it relevant and interesting to modern day viewers, and also capture like just feeling like it's from a long
there,
time
but
ago.
like made for today kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was telling you this before. It's so funny how I thought maybe because I'm so used to like Disney Plus shows like The Mandalorian, like what if I'm like, who is this directed by? Who's the second one directed by? It's the same person. Abe Brown did not do this. But I'm like, hey, also it would be fun since they're doing like different decades. I know this was like the season premiere altogether, so maybe the next episodes will be by different people or in collaboration with different people. That would be interesting, but I do also appreciate if it's all one person to keep it more cohesive.
I think it will all be the Matt Shackman guy, because at the D23 Kevin Feige only brought him and Gretchen Enders out on stage and said these are our. I think Gretchen is also directing one coming up soon, but I think it's just them. They're the showrunners of this, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, whatever they're doing, like even if it's just them, like I just feel like I feel like they have a lot of love for these like decades and TV shows because they just capture the aesthetic, the essence, the aura of it. I mean, yeah, like it's just so much like a love letter to the evolution of television, and also storytelling, how they're doing it. Like it can be something so simple, but they can do so much with it. Even if it's a fake world, it can also inform their real world. Maybe also our real world. Maybe I'm being too cheesy, but
no, yeah. What a creative idea to do this WandaVision, like just the way they're doing it. Because I mean, most people are turned off by black and white.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's MCU will probably draw people to it.
Like bring appreciation to, because I mean, like you were saying, most kids probably nowadays would be like, oh, it's black and white, I don't like that, unless they're like some hipster kid who's like, oh, I only watch A24. That's me, I'm kids. I'm kidding. But I don't know, I feel like it will bring a lot more people to appreciate different styles and different decades and be like, I mean yeah, there was some like bad stuff going on in the past, but TV wise it was pretty cool. And it's even cooler now because we can have like diversity in there, have like Rambo go in there and like be a hero and not be like sidetracked because of something that she can control because she's a cool character and cool person.
Yeah.
That got kind of weird. Sorry. I'm just really happy to see stuff like that be a little bit more open to people.
Me too. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to say, and I think I said everything I do. Do you have any last minute thoughts?
I mean, now that you ask me, I don't. But I thought I had some. So maybe we'll check in next week and see what we think. I'm excited to see the 70s style. I saw some like screenshots and video of it, and they look so cute. And I'm just really excited to see that whole like era. And I just loved when it went from black and white to color really slowly around them. And it just looks so magical, but technological and just like slightly iridescent. I'm just like, this is what I like. Yeah. So I'm just really excited to also see, because I saw it in like the behind the scenes and featurettes, like how much work they put into like even like the whole set, the costuming, it's all in the colors. They did Vision's makeup and then they did the black and white. Of course, everything was done like as it would have been back then. So I'm so glad that we can fully appreciate it for how it looks like.
Yeah.
And see the full spectrum, literally, of their colors. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the show. I mean, the best part is it's so weird. Mm-hmm. You don't know what to expect. And I mean, there's tons of theories out there about what's going on. And I don't think anybody's right, honestly. Yeah. I mean, Kevin Feige has a way of like bringing in creators to come up with like the most ridiculous outcome. But it's concise and it makes sense and it works for whatever story they're going to tell. So I'm really excited.
I'm excited to find out what's going on, or at least have a little bit more clue so we can speculate more and probably not be too far off. And also, I don't know, I just want to see, because I mean, we saw that like Kat Dennings is coming back, Ultron is coming back, like Ultron was here, like everyone's, well, not everyone, but it's a really cool party that we're in for. So I'm
party time. And yeah, we're going to talk about it more next week, Friday at 1 p.m. again with the WandaVision Aftershow. Again, this is the Han Talks First channel. I know it's a Star Wars channel. but we're branching out. We're talking about some Marvel stuff here, and we might continue to do so if people like it, and we enjoy talking about it. So, but anyway, come back next week. Come back Monday. We're doing a live stream talking about Star Wars news, and you'll see me there. But yeah, be sure to follow us at our handles down below. I am Rice Crispy.
Hello.
Han talks first. And until next time.
I will want to envision you guys checking in with us next time. Bye.
Bye.